It's really holding up well for a first-year golf course. We did open all 18 holes June 10th. It's doing extremely well, and we're looking forward to next year because that's going to be a big year for the area of Sheboygan here.
We got some exciting things planned for next year. We got the U.S. Open qualifying. We got the PGA Tour Saturday Series. We've got interest from the WSGA and any event in the future. Most of those, you got to understand, are booked out a number of years already. But they put no limitation on what we can hold in the future.
I think if you look at the first 4 holes on this golf course, first 3 holes were out in sort of a cornfield, and looked at what to do with those property after looking at the other property. Once you get into the 4th hole, you go into the trees. 5th hole plays along an embankment. 6th hole is a beautiful little par 3 that plays along another embankment on the other side, and then 7th's a beautiful little par 4, a little pitch, fit very tightly between some wetland areas and on embankment. And 8's a par 5 that fits into this thing, and then 9 comes back right here to the clubhouse. What we had to do was take the first 3.5 holes before we got to the trees and create something that would fit and work with the others. I don't like to see a golf course start out and break your back the first hole. I've never liked that philosophy. I've always feel like you ought to be able to get started. And not that the first hole has to be a bad hole, but I don't want it to be an extremely difficult hole. And the first hole here is not a difficult hole. It's a fairly short par 4. It's a place that you won't play like a difficult hole. You can get in trouble on it, but it should get you started. But then the golf course starts, and we basically put a lake out there, which we play 2 around and 3 back. And the lake out in this cornfield created the elements of being able to match up with other parts of the golf course. And once we got through 2 and 3, then 4 went out with the tee shot and then went into the trees. And then we didn't have any problem with the trees. We had to figure out how could we best keep the best trees, utilize what nature had given us there to play with, and how could we best work within it, and also obviously environmentally make sure that we stayed within all the rules and regulations and enhance the environment rather than try to have a chance of penalizing it. That basically got us through the front 9. The back 9 was sort of in and out. 10 was sort of had a really nice tee shot area and a nice sort of glacial ridge, I suppose, that was left on the right side, and one actually on the left. And we enhanced the one on the left and put some bunkers into it and put a nice par 4 that dog-legged left to right, and really fit very, very nicely. 11 was just nothing. There was nothing there. We had a power line crossed out here that we sort of split it over, and so we ended up putting the lake, and we played around this lake. We played against a base of trees, trying to utilize the natural areas that are there, but then how do we enhance it and how do we play with it? So by putting that lake in, we ended up actually allowing you to play to either side of the lake on the hole, and then we start going back in. I won't go through all the holes out here now, but you start going into the 12th holes of par 3, and then 13's a long par 5, and you start sort of balancing what you have with a hedgerow tree line, which was an old farm tree line in the field. How do you take that, make it work? How do you tie it together? Then you get back into the trees a little bit on 14, 15, 16. Then 17 comes out to the top and drops way on down off a nice ridge. And then 18 was really a nothing area. We had to create a golf hole there. We really created a stream. We had a drainage that moved down through that area, so we had to utilize that and reroute the drainage to make it work. So it became part of a nice area. And so you try to take all those things and put them together. Yes, some of it's man-made, some of it's natural, but you try to take and get a balance. And I think if you take a lot of golf courses that are totally through the trees, you go out there and say, wait, you remember the 4th hole I hit this shot? And that's the 4th hole. Okay, 4th hole. Now, let's see, 1 does this, 2 does this. I mean, what you try to do is say, somebody says, okay, went out to the 4th hole today. Yeah, that's the par 5, right? Or somebody says, I went to the 7th hole. Oh, that's that little short par 4 up the hill. In other words, each hole's got its own identity, yet it's a blend of how you put it together. And that's what you try to create on a golf course, and try to make sure that all those elements, tie together so that it's all distinctive. It's different. It's a blend. It's a flow. All those things. All those things is what makes a golf course. That makes a signature golf course. That's what you're asking too.
And I don't think I've ever missed a putt on the last hole. Absolutely never. No. I always putt them. Huh? No, I always putt them. I just got to line them up, make sure that we got it right. And once I line it up, I get just about ready to hit it. And then I just sort of, boom. That's yours, young man. They're the one that's asked, no, the young man right beside you, they're the one that asked 9 million questions today. Okay, thank you all very much.
We had hoped to have a plaque ready today, but it's not, so Christopher's going to read what we wrote to have on this plaque. Go ahead.
To our dad, whose vision, dedication, perseverance, and hard work turned his boyhood dreams into this reality, we love you. Christopher, Matt, and Alexandra.
August 18th, 2003. I can get that part right. David and David. Yours. Thank you, sir. Thank you.